Disclaimer, this series revolves around criticising things, and just because I'm doing that doesn't necessarily mean I dislike the thing. Thank you. Click below to watch the original Sins video, or to buy Gravity Falls. So the title of the episode is wrong here, it's actually Legend of the Gobblewonker rather than Legends, but alright.
Syrup race!
Syrup races.
That's racist. Get it? Because of the word race and the running joke in SeriesSins where Jeremy calls things that are sexist, racist or homophobic racist because he wants to tiptoe around actual social issues without really addressing them. That's the joke I was making.
Looks like this episode made a mention of Gideon before we introduced him.
That's a good thing. It doesn't really give hints as to what's going to happen next, so I guess you couldn't really call it foreshadowing, but it does tie the universe together quite nicely. It's a nice little Easter egg for people who are rewatching the series and are already familiar with Gideon to notice. It's certainly not a problem or a mistake.
We didn't get any photos of those gnomes, did we?
Well, I didn't recall you guys taking photos of gnomes.
Yep, hence why the answer to that question was no.
Is this gonna be anything like our last family bonding day?
And while you two were bonding that day, you didn't refuse and broke the law.
You can't hold children legally responsible for things like this when they were told to do it by an adult, and I think the law is right on that one.
I'm still trying to figure out how Stan's eyebrows can go over his vest. Of course, this would be an animation error.
Or a deliberate stylistic choice in animation. Which is what I'm pretty sure this is. You can also see that Mabel's eye goes over her hair. This is a beneficial thing as well, because it gives more scope to make the characters more expressive.
Blindfolds never lead to anything good.
Dipper would be great at SeriesSins.
I'm sure E.L. James would disagree with you there. The three of you that actually remember that name from like 2012 probably found that moderately amusing.
Introducing characters before actually introducing them.
Again, this is a good thing. I'm not going to say that this method of introducing characters is inherently better than giving a character a set introduction where they're very clearly being introduced to the audience, but I would say it works really well in this context. Gravity Falls is set in a small town. It makes sense that a few of the people you'd seen out and about in the background before are people that you'd get to know later. Also, the subtitles don't say introducing, they say interdousing?
This lady doesn't know how to fish.
As far as I can tell, she's fishing fine, she's just also holding a frying pan. So, she may not quite understand the intricacies of frying something.
It's just gonna be you, me, and those goofy hats on a boat for 10 hours!
That would be too long just to fish. Also, Time Traveler guy that I know is voiced by Justin Roiland is here, and once again, not screaming in this scene.
As someone who's trying to be stealthy, I would suggest that maybe screaming wouldn't be his best course of action.
The Gravity Falls Gobblewonker!
First off, Gobblewonker is an odd name.
And that's okay. We're not here to shame the Gobblewonker. All names are valid. Where am I taking this?
Secondly, I have a feeling that this Gobblewonker is a discount Loch Ness.
Loch Ness?
I want you guys to remember this boat's name. Can you do that? I guess not.
Again, I see this more as just an Easter egg for people rewatching the series. Plus, it's a fun way of showing us that they had the show planned out right from the start.
Imagine what you could do with $500!
Mabel would spend her share on one item. Also, a human-sized hamster ball costs way more than $500.
I looked it up and no it doesn't.
You can look, but you can't touch.
Because she's in a giant hamster ball.
Well, yes, but...
Dipper, I am 1,000,000% on board with this.
That's 999,900% more than usual. Yeah, I did the math.
I don't think that's quite as impressive as you think it is.
You kids could go waste your time on some epic monster-finding adventure, or you could spend the day learning how to tie knots and skewer worms with your great Uncle Stan.
Which one has the better plot? because we choose that option.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's the option that the writers chose as well.
What's the #1 problem with most monster hunts?
Bringing a female character that would most likely to scream annoyingly.
That's racist. You see what I did there? You get it? It was a callback to earlier when I said the thing about the, yeah.
Anybody who uses a camera like that.
I'm not sure if you're talking about the kind of camera he's using or the method he's using the camera with, but both are fine.
Wanna hear a joke? Here goes. My ex-wife still misses me, but her aim is getting better.
Inserting innuendo jokes at a proposal.
That's not an innuendo. Also, proposal.
Also, that joke doesn't make any sense. If it was ex-husband, it would make more sense. And why am I talking about sex jokes on a second episode of a kids show?
Here, I don't know how you think that joke was supposed to be interpreted, although I kind of want to know. Can you please tell me? But it's not sexual. It's not a sex joke. No sex involved here.
Imagine what would happen if we got that picture.
Dipper's thoughts of having $500 is that he would become Indiana Jones and also run away from a discount boulder.
Mabel isn't a discount anything, and how dare you suggest such a thing? Also, in Dipper's mind, this isn't a result of him having $500. This is a result of him finding and photographing a monster.
Monster enter as the person in front of said monster is distracted, cliché.
Also, monster arrives just as people are starting to think there isn't really a monster and it was all just a myth, cliché.
This is it! Cracked lens!
Dipper uses a camera with cracked lens.
No, he specifically doesn't use that camera because it's got a cracked lens.
Easy, easy.
Show thinks that by putting in a smashing glass joke would make me laugh, and Show is wrong. Also, why were they carrying glass in the middle of a lake? No minor injuries from that crash.
And how do you know there are no minor injuries from that crash? Guys, everyone stop. I know we're being chased by a monster, but I have to interrupt everything to let you all know I've bruised my knee. This is important. So the sin total was 29 sins. SeriesSins Part 2 is coming out on Wednesday. That's what I'm saying today instead of the penalty. Deal with it. I'd also like to say another thanks to SeriesSins for actively requesting these videos. Not many people would be that brave, and I've put a link to his channel on screen. I've also linked the original SeriesSins, SeriesSins original video, and the SeriesSins subreddit. Well, no, I haven't. I've linked a video with the link to the SeriesSins subreddit in the description because YouTube doesn't allow me to link to Reddit because...